everyone, it's Holly and I'm here with another Tuesday Talks video, and Tuesday Talks is a Goodreads group and I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down in the description below in case you want to check it out. And this week's topic is all about cover design. So basically, what do you look for in a cover, those kinds of things. And I feel like I should have taken notes for this, but I didn't, so I'm going to wing it. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think I've ever bought a book because of the cover. I have kept a book because of the cover, and I have definitely picked up a book because of the cover, but I have never walked out of a store or whatever just because the cover was pretty. I'm gonna read the synopsis and see if it appeals to me. That being said, I definitely have preferences. So actually what I did was I just went to my shelves and just grabbed a bunch of books that I really liked, and I definitely feel like there's kind of a similarity in the things that attract me. One, I do like books that aren't just regular feeling. I love a book that has texture to it. So The Ring and the Crown by Melissa De La Cruz, this is one I'm keeping because of the freaking cover. It kind of has a buttery smooth, actually the Fifth Wave is like this too. That one's even softer. It's kind of a smooth texture and the font is raised a little bit. To some degree with Cress, where the ribbon is kind of a different texture and again the font is raised. And a final one is Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. This one is especially interesting because the paper that the music would be written on kind of feels more like parchment type paper, which I really like, and it's different from up here, which is a typical glossy feel. So the other thing I like is really simplistic covers. So I think The Ring and the Crown and Cress is a good example of that. Ring and the Crown has a lot of background details, but in general I feel like it's fairly plain looking. My favorite part is not the girl, she could be gone and I wouldn't care, but it's the background. It is very detailed, but when you get close up to it. Another example that I really like is Unravel Me. I actually think all of these covers are gorgeous, but this one is my favorite. This book is on display on my shelf because it's just the eyes with the detailing, and so I just like when it's kind of just a focus of one thing. And similar to that, I think, is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is probably the closest to a cover buy I've ever had. I was definitely kind of apprehensive about picking this up, even though I'd heard a lot of good things, but it was pretty, so maybe the book cover swayed me from a library read to a purchase. So, but again, it's very simplistic. It's just this beautiful green color, which I love this color. This is basically, I'm pretty sure, the color of one of my prom dresses. And then just the font and just this cute, it looks like fan art, and I'm pretty sure it is, basically. And I don't know, I love covers that make sense to the story after you read them as well, and I think this is a good example of that. Same with Maybe Someday. Again, since I'm talking about it here on Fangirl, I'll say the other thing I really like is the font and typography choices that they make. So I really like this font. And another example of that is Say What You Will by Cami McGovern. This is basically all just words. Obviously you have some text bubbles and stuff, but in general, and I think the back is really cute too, I just like what somebody can do with just colors and different font styles. I find that very interesting, and that catches my eye, and you don't see as much of this, especially in YA, so it's just unique. I will say people on covers actually don't bother me that much. I actually kind of like it. I don't know why. It always reminds me of pictures. And so, especially in contemporary books, I like it. I feel like it fits the genre. But where I'm very specific about my people on my covers are my romance novels. So I feel like this is going to seem weird, but I have preferences, and I get a little sad when my books don't fit my preferences. So first of all, I've talked about this before, one thing is I definitely like a step back. I prefer a step back in my romances. I also prefer my romances with people on the cover. I don't like the artsy ones where it's flowers and things like that. I don't really like those ones. I prefer the people. And my other preference is that I really like when my cover for a romance novel has a woman on the cover and not a man. It's kind of a toss-up. I don't mind if it's both, but I really like women. I don't know why. I think it's because, to me, like, so much of, like, these books are usually written by women, for women, although men read them, and God bless you if you do. But especially since I read a lot of historicals, and I think that plays into it too. Oh, I should have grabbed that one. Oh, there's one I love. I don't know, I feel like I usually identify with the heroine a lot, so I just want to see her. And the other reason I like to see the women on the cover is because I read a lot of historicals, which means they're in a lot of pretty dresses, and I love a good pretty dress. I actually really like the Selection series book covers, and I think this is a good example of this. I love, like, the corsety thing. A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, which I don't own, is probably one of my favorite book covers. The one I was just thinking of is A Duke of Her Own, I think is what it's called, by Eloisa James. It's the last book in her Desperate Duchess series. The dress on the cover of that book is just gorgeous, and I think that's what it is. I just look at these girls in their dresses and I'm just like, I want that dress, it's so pretty. I don't know. So I definitely prefer my romance novels to have girls on the cover. But yes, so those are my thoughts on cover design. If you have any thoughts, you want to tell me about any of your favorite book covers, anything like that, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!